Today, with the Minister of Public Transport, I'm pleased to announce another massive increase in public transport services across the metropolitan area. We are announcing today an extra 4,000 services per week. That's an extra 4,000 services each and every week, tram services, train services, bus services. I, as Premier, and Terry Mulder, as Minister of Public Transport, are passionate about public transport in Melbourne. We are passionate about improving the existing services. We're also passionate about building the infrastructure that's needed to further increase the capacity of our services, the reliability of our services, and of course, to make sure that we meet the growing needs of the growing Melbourne and Victorian population. That's why we're getting on with the job of building the regional rail link to improve the capacity and reliability of our V-line services. And regional rail link will also have a massive benefit in terms of metro train services in the west and the northwest, increasing the opportunity for even further capacity increases in those regional areas and of course those metropolitan areas on the Werribee line, the Altona line, the Williamstown line, the Sunbury line and the Craigieburn line. We've also in this year's budget announced our commitment to the Melbourne Rail Link to massively increase the capacity and deal with the bottleneck in the city loop. We've also announced the much needed and long awaited airport rail link, and we've also announced the significant upgrade to the Cranbourne-Pakenham rail corridor, our busiest rail corridor, which certainly will meet the growing demands of that service through to Dandenong and out to the growth areas in Pakenham and Cranbourne. We are, as a government, proud of the fact that 40 level crossings have either been removed, are in the process of being removed, or are in planning in terms of being removed. So we are getting on with the job. We are delivering more services, improved punctuality, safer services, and improved customer satisfaction.
We've had 4,000 services that we're announcing today between train, tram and bus services. The centrepiece is a complete rewrite of timetables on the Dandenong corridor, one of the corridors that was suffering from overcrowding, adding 39 additional train services every weekday between Dandenong and the city, meaning additional 195 services per week. This will include one extra Dandenong service and one extra Pakenham service in each of the morning and evening peaks, creating space for an extra 2,000 passengers on the Dandenong corridor, delivering a 3 to 4 minute service to reduce overcrowding during the peak periods. In addition, we'll be improving off-peak services with trains running every 20 minutes from Pakenham and every 20 minutes from Cranbourne, delivering trains every 10 minutes throughout the day on the Dandenong corridor. The busy Frankston line will benefit from 2 extra morning peak services, increasing the number of peak services from 21 to 23. This creates extra capacity with space for an extra 2,000 passengers during the peak hour, and is an addition to the 10-minute inter-peak frequency these passengers already enjoy throughout the day. On the regional network, Ballarat and Bendigo passengers will begin to experience some of the major benefits of the $4.1 billion regional rail project. The major works campaign commencing tomorrow and continuing throughout the school holidays will include the most complex signalling works undertaken in Victoria for many years. We'll complete large sections of track, civil and also overhead works. In a major milestone for the regional rail link, the completion of these works will see Ballarat and Bendigo trains using the new platforms at Sunshine and Footscray stations and a new 20-kilometre section of dedicated V-line tracks from Sunshine all the way through to Southern Cross Station. We'll now also be reshaping and boosting the tram network with more than 470 extra trips each week. A new Route 12 will be introduced between St Kilda and Victoria Gardens in Richmond, catering for demand in the fast-growing Victoria Gardens area. Route 11, which is currently a peak hour only route, will be boosted to become a full-time route between West Preston and Victoria Harbour Down in Docklands. Together these routes will provide 1,300 new services a week to Docklands and 1,400 new services a week to Victoria Gardens, and they will reshape the tram network. Ahead of our change to the tram network, track and terminus work is underway at Victoria Gardens in Richmond to create a new turnaround point for trams, a key part of enabling these new services to be delivered. And finally, around 130 local bus routes across the state will have timetable changes delivering 3,260 extra bus trips per week, and will also be installing 250 new bus stops. The bus changes will better coordinate with trains and boost services in the growing areas such as Wyndham and also Brimbank. In Melbourne, the new bus timetables will be right along the Dandenong rail corridor to coordinate with the new rail timetable, with improvements also in many suburbs around Melbourne, and improvements in cities and towns right across our state. With so many train, tram and bus timetables improving from the 27th of July, I would encourage all passengers to check their timetables before they travel and learn what these changes mean for them. This is a massive leap forward for public transport in Victoria.